Hello, it's me again. Sorry I wasn't here last week. I had so much to do that I couldn't fit everything in, which was a bit daft, so I am sorry for that. Okay, so as you can tell, we're in a different room in the house. We're in the front room because they were all setting all their timers off on Alexa, so I didn't want to get involved with their dinners. So, hello, and I hope you're all well in this very strange time that we're in. For those that don't know me, my name is Amanda Samadhi. I'm a Reiki Master Teacher, Energy Healer, Light Worker, Seiki practitioner, plus a consultant for Arwan. If you could possibly share this with anyone that you know that might need to, there might be someone now that actually needs to hear what I've got to say. It might actually help someone. As there are lots of things that I find out and I like to try and share. Hello Jade. It's nice to know someone's watching. Right, I did write quite a long thing about the government and the news feed and everything, and then I decided to rip it up because I don't listen to the news and I'm not very good with government. So I was going to have a massive rant, but I will say one thing, okay? The only thing I'm going to say about all this is, what is all that about if your neighbours have more than 6 people in your house that you should grass them up? What can I say? What utter childish behaviour. Anyway, oh my God, it's just going to cause more and more problems. There's already enough problems out there, but I'm going to leave that there, okay? So, anyway, big deep breath from me. Back to the real world. So, I want to talk to you about your little voice in your head. So when you are wanting to say something and that little voice inside your head says, no, I can't say that, that would be so silly, they would laugh at me, what would people think of me, or they don't want to hear that, why would I? And then you don't say what you are really wanting to say. Well, let me tell you, yes, they do want to hear what you've got to say, because if you have something to say, why shouldn't you say it, right? Don't matter what it is, who it's to. I've just had my little rant about the government, that's how I feel, and I just put it out there, which I hope I don't get into trouble, but there you go, I said it. But that little voice inside your head is you self-sabotaging yourself, okay? So all you've got to do is stop for a moment when the voices start in your head and ground yourself, okay? Because it means that your body is out of itself. Just ground yourself by wiggling your toes on the floor, taking a really big deep breath, come out of your head and down into your heart. Then you say what you want to say, okay? Don't matter who it's to, whether it's your kids, your husband, whatever, or your wife. Sorry, chaps. You should be able to speak. And then just speak your truth. Speak out loud. And this is called self-expression. You are allowed to talk your truth because that's what you're here for. Don't hold yourself back, okay? If people don't like what you're saying, then that is their problem, not yours, okay? I used to be really worried about what people thought about me. I used to worry about how many likes I got on Facebook. I would be worried that people didn't like me. That was the old me. And let me tell you, it is really hard work trying to make people like you, okay? And something else I learned this week, if somebody stabs you in the back, the reason why there is a good reason why they are behind you, okay? So if you have a little think about that and you want to stab you in the back, they are behind you for a reason, okay? Never in front of you. I used to be a people pleaser, but I don't go around hurting people or anything like that. But if I have something to say, I will now take a deep breath and I will just come out with it. It doesn't upset any people, because you can say things in a way without having to sort of, you know, upset people. It can pee people off a bit, but, you know. So you are a great person. Remember this. Every single person is a great person, and they have a voice, and they are allowed to talk, and you should be heard. Okay, so don't keep quiet. Okay, that's enough of that one. The next bit. Yes, a chap came to my place of work. He's normally very tall, upright, smiling, always happy. But today he came to my work. He was very small. He was crouched over, unhappy. He had the weight of the world on his shoulders. I had to ask him what was wrong. He replied, "I have got far too much right now on my head. I don't know whether I am coming or going." Now this is a really bad place to be in for everybody, okay? I think he was a businessman type thing. He's got a suit on, so I would say he's probably a businessman. He's not going to be listening to this, so I don't think he'll mind me talking. I really thought he was going to cry. I told him the best thing he could do, I don't know where my voice comes from, but it just comes out, okay? I told him the best thing that he could do was to turn his phone off for 15 minutes, because as we were standing there, his phone beeped about 10 times. Whoever it was really wanted to get hold of him, and he didn't know how to answer the phone, which meant he had given his power away to the person on the phone, and had given his power away to the phone itself. So the best thing he could do, I said to him, switch the phone off. His face went white. And I said, if you cannot give yourself 10 to 15 minutes and stop the world and get off, then something is terribly wrong. Okay, whether it's, I know sometimes you can't turn it off, but you know when you're getting really irate and you're just giving your power away to whoever's ever on the other end of the phone. It could be your children. Sometimes I'll switch my phone off to my kids just for 5 minutes to get my power back. And then what happens is you take a deep breath, look up the sky, take another deep breath. What a beautiful day. When you turn that phone back on again, you have taken your power back, and you can handle whatever is coming down that phone in a different way. It's really good way of working things out. Don't go shouting down the phone and all that sort of thing, because you're just losing more and more of your own power. And by doing this, you could actually stop yourself from actually having a heart attack or even a panic attack. Imagine. Oh my God, you know, it's like, if you can imagine a car at the top of a very, very steep hill, okay, and the handbrake is off. Now you are the car. Now what happens is the car starts slowly going down the hill, so your energy, or you're getting angry about something. If you don't pull on that brake, it's going to go a lot quicker, and you're going to crash, and it's going to burn, I'm afraid, which is really not what you want to do. You'll either lose your temper, you'll lose your rag, which gets nobody anywhere, okay? Come down into your heart. Always come into your heart before you're going to talk. If you're in your head, you're going to have an argument, which is no good for your soul. So anyway, to make yourself better, give yourself, even if it's 5 minutes, the initial turning off that phone gives you the most uplifting power you cannot believe. Try it next time, okay? Okay, now the next thing, I have learnt something. Well, I've learnt a couple of things this week. You needed to retrain your brain, okay? Now, I really want to be able to read quicker. It really annoys me when I can't read quickly. So I spoke to one of my teachers, and they said that what you have to do to retrain your brain is, this is a little test that you can do. If you're standing upright with your back up, get your arm and push it right the way round so you cannot move it any further, right? So mine is about there. Now, for 1 minute, if you say to yourself, I can move my arm further, I can move my arm further, just keep repeating it, I can move my arm further, for about 1 minute, and you will move your arm further than before. It's really weird. It's really good, because I decided I'd take that test, and a minute before I read my books, I sat there and said, I can read quickly, I can read quickly, over and over and over and over again in your mind, your brain. So you're retraining your brain. You just have to, it only takes a moment, and it's really weird. You should have it. So if you're stuck on something that you think, I really wish I could do that, you can do anything, right? You can just retrain your brain, because I did, okay? My reading was atrocious, and now I love my books. My books are now lined up, and because reading and knowledge is power, okay? That's why I love knowledge. Knowledge is power. I wish I'd learnt that in school, because I was terrible in school. I was really horrible in school. I don't know if any of my teachers are actually still alive, but they'd chuckle at this one. So now I'm reading really quicker, and it's really good. So, hey presto. So they should try and teach this in school, which is a good thing for youngsters. It's fun, and it gives them something to focus on. So somebody did ask me a question while I was away, and I did say that I would find out and have a really good think about it. So here is the question that I was asked. Someone asked me, how would they get rid of a hole that has been left by someone that has left them? Okay. This happened to this person about 6 months ago, and they still have had a massive hole inside them. Okay, this is in their head. So the first thing that you would need to do is do not fill that hole with another person. So don't go thinking, right, I'll go out with another person, that person will fill the hole. It doesn't work, okay? Or you're very lucky if it does work. The only thing you need to do is, you see, losing a love in your life is a part of grieving. It's like losing a person in your life that's passed over. That is another form of grieving. And same with losing love. And what happens is grieving comes up like that, and it comes in waves. So the wave will come there, and then it will come down again. And that's the same with any addiction. The addiction will come up like with smoking. Your smoking will go like that. You will reach for that cigarette, and then you'll come back down again. I hope I'm not talking too quickly. So it all comes in waves. Now each person is different how they heal from being hurt. Okay, every single person is different, and they will all deal with it differently. I know lots and lots of people that are hurt, and I talk to a lot of people that are hurt about their past lives, and past hurts in relationships. And what they've done is they've entered into new relationships that they really shouldn't be in, and they're stuck. I have done this myself. You get to a point and you think, oh, what on earth am I doing? But anyway, that was when I was younger. So you should try this bit to heal yourself. You need to heal yourself first, because then when you meet your new person, you are a whole person. You haven't got no holes or anything like that. The best thing you can do is learn to love yourself first. The more love you give yourself, the more love you will eventually receive. Okay. There is something called cord cutting, which can be done. I can do this, or I can teach you how to do this, but you cannot do this until you are truly ready to get rid of that person. Okay, otherwise it will not work. So every relationship has an energy cord. This is what I mean by cord cutting. It's like an energy cord. It's like, have you ever really thought about somebody and then out of the blue they ring you and you think, well, that's really strange because I was thinking about you today. That is cord. It's an energetic cord, okay, that can be cut. And it's really easy to do. Yeah, so you can learn to love yourself by starting by hugging yourself, okay? Now this is a really weird thing, probably harder for men, okay? But if you want to heal yourself, you're going to have to hug yourself. And it's literally to put your arm around yourself and really take a deep breath into your heart. It's lovely. It's really good. And if you can practice that every day, it's amazing what self-love does. Now another thing you need to do is if you take your fingertips and just rub on a part, like on your arm here, or on the inner side of your arm, like that, with your fingertips, or on your face. I know you're not supposed to rub faces, but it's your own hands and they're nice and clean. But if you just rub your face with your fingertips like that, what this is doing for quite a while, okay? What this does is it makes something called oxytocin, okay? Once your body is tuned into this sort of energy, which is really easy because it's your energy that's coming through your fingertips, just rubbing on your arm, and it causes this, okay? Once you can master how to do that, the world is your oyster, okay? So one study showed that by doing this reduces fear and anxiety and can counteract increased blood pressure, just simply by doing, because I'm into alternative medicine, by simply rubbing your fingertips on a part of your body like that. It's your own energy that will help you, heal you. Okay, there's a party drug called MDMA, which is known as ecstasy. This is all for you young people out there. Mind you, a lot of old people take this sort of thing as well. What this drug does, it mimics the action of oxytocin, which is why people report feeling more relaxed, loving and accepting towards themselves and of others when taking this drug. So you really do not need to take these drugs. Just learn properly how to truly love yourself. It's a lot cheaper and it does not kill the cells in your brain, because that is what that drug does, and you cannot get those cells back, okay? So simply, I hope this has answered the question for the person that asked me the question. So simply by learning to love yourself first before you move on to anybody else, by simply rubbing parts of your arm on the inner arm and parts of your face like that. It's really weird because it causes that. It causes oxytocin, which is what you want in your body, okay? There is another thing. There is a really good book by Louise Hay, which is called You Can Heal Your Life, which looks like that, okay? This is a really great book. A lot of therapists have this book because in the back of the book it says it's a bit like a therapist Bible, okay? Because in the back of the book, I'll just grab at one bit, like, let's have a little look. You can look up skin problems. Could be caused by anxiety, fear, or being threatened, slipped disc. I mean, it has everything in here, and it has a solution as to why the energy or your body is making that. Sore throat means you're holding on with angry words, you're feeling unable to express yourself. If you really think about it, it is because it's to do with your throat, you're not being able to express yourself. So a healer like myself would then go into the throat, give it loads of energy, take away the bad energy, put the good energy in. So that is a really good book, and it's really helpful for you. And it does, she's a brilliant lady. She's not with us anymore, but she's really good. So that is really good. And it's a bit like, this book is a bit like if you've got something wrong, you just look it all up. it's a bit like going to the doctors. What the doctor does these days is he goes onto Google and Googles your symptoms and what can happen. I've sat there plenty of times in the doctor's surgery, which is nothing wrong with that, but this is what this sort of book is. But alternative therapies work really well alongside Western medicine. A lot of people are looking for different therapies now, or different types of alternative medicine, because anyway, yeah, we'll stop that right there. So if you've got, that's it. I think I've done everything. I hope you can understand, and I hope that helped that person with that question. I have got another question that somebody asked me, but I think I've gone on a bit too long today. So I will look into that other question and I will answer it next week. But if anybody has any questions they want to ask about any situation in their life, I will never mention your name, but I will go to all sorts of my teachers and see what I can come up with for you. So if you've got anything you want to say, don't hesitate to message me. But that's enough, and I shall speak to you next week. Love and light to you all. Ta-ta.